What's going on, guys? I am back with another reaction video. This time we are going to watch a video by Derek FDB titled "The Most Toxic Woman Ever." And I have seen this video recommended to me a lot. I've actually been seeing a lot of Spider-Man content being recommended to me a lot. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because I heard he's going through it in the comics again, because it's like, hey, do you want to be a comic book writer at Marvel? We need you to just fuck up Spider-Man's life for a while. Can you do that? Yeah. That seems like a rite of passage. But there's been a lot of toxic women lately. And obviously, you could guess it's not Anissa. Is it Anissa from Invincible? Even though when that part of the story gets freaking animated, people are going to lose their shit. Okay? It's going to be worse than when Amber from Invincible. God, first of all, fuck Amber, but we don't need to talk about that right now. It was from when Amber from Invincible, or the way like people felt about Lois Lane for a week in the new Superman anime when she threw herself off the building. We still need to talk about that because that's a huge fucking risk to take. You could have done plenty of other things, but I have never seen this video before. I don't even know who Derek FDB is. This is my first time engaging with this content, but I am very curious to see what his most toxic woman ever is. All right, enough chatting. Let's dive right on in.
Will you marry me?
Oh, it's probably this Mary Jane, right?
Mary Jane!
I already expressed my love for Spider-Man in my previous video, but what I didn't tell y'all is there's one character from the Spider-Verse that I absolutely despise, solely because of how much they put Peter Parker through. It's not any diabolical evildoers like Green Goblin, Carnage, or worst of all, The Wall, but possibly
The
worse,
Wall?
Mary Jane Watson from the 2002 Spider-Man movie. You're probably one.
So, I think one thing about the first trilogy of Spider-Man movies with the OG, Tobey Mcguire. Is it Tobey Mcguire? Yeah. Was even back then, I was like, why are they so weird together? You know, their chemistry never just hit it off to me, right? Even at that time, I obviously knew nothing about Spider-Man. Hell, the first time I saw Spider-Man was watching those movies. So I knew nothing about them. But even as a kid, I was like, they just don't fit well together. So I wonder why he's gonna say she's the most toxic. Other than, you know, didn't they? She was about to get married, because yeah, she was about to get married and she left a dude at the altar. She hated Peter because his life was just better than hers, even though Peter was always there. So in the third movie, she was gonna get married and then she left like Jonah Jameson's, like the dude at the altar, ran through Central Park in her dress and just pulled up to his apartment. And Peter was like, welcome back. The fuck? I would have had fucking problems. She was just about to get married a couple hours ago. Then there was in Spider-Man 2, her acting career wasn't going as well, but Peter's life was going better. And she hated him for that. And then she started messing around with fucking, what's his name? Harry? Again, after she dated him for the first time and treated him like shit, by the way. And then went back with him, even though Harry was on, was it in the third movie or the second movie when Harry was on? No, it was the third movie because Harry was on demon time on that one because he found out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. And obviously Spider-Man killed his father, even though technically the Green Goblin killed himself. What else? In the first movie, I didn't like how much she was just kind of like bouncing between. Obviously, she was dating Peter's bully. She dated Harry for a little bit. God, man, she kind of sucks now that I think about it. But you know what? Let's just dive right on in. Also, this video has over 1 million views. So this is going to be something special.
Wondering why? What did she do that could be so bad? Well, I'm gonna show you. I'm going to go through every toxic and manipulative thing she did to Peter Parker, and not just him either, but all the men she was with. And by the end of this video, you'll finally understand why she's the most toxic woman ever.
Treat me like white teeth, don't get me dirty.
Oh
boy, yeah.
First, I'm gonna start it off with the original Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 1. You would expect this being the first.
I haven't seen that
for it to
movie in
be
a while. I
little
should
more
go
calm,
back and
but,
watch it.
No, she's a bad person. So first thing we see from her is that she stops the bus for Peter. You know, very nice act. You know,
It is weird. Now that I look at it, these are just all grown ass people. These are just grown ass people. Like Flash Thompson was like a 25-year-old dude, right? He was just like 25 or some shit.
selfless act, and you realize she's dating the bully. And that pretty much negates any act of kindness she does for Peter or anybody else who gets bullied by him. And it's like, oh, maybe she doesn't know. No, she knows. He does it right in front of her, and she doesn't care. You think a little, Flash, stop. It's gonna do anything? Then after Peter gets his powers, we find out she doesn't have the best of dad, so makes total sense now. And Peter, being the good guy that he is, you know, he just tries to chop it up with her to cheer her up a little. And
wasn't like Tobey Mcguire like really standoffish in the movie, like when the movie was being screened? I remember watching this on like Mr. Sunday Movies video when they were talking about it. Like he was really standoffish, and also he barely beat out what's the guy's name that plays Harry in the movie? Oh, it's bothering me that I can't remember his name, but he barely beat him out, and he was just never happy about it. So I remember that at one point they paid like the guy who was Flash like actual money to see if we just, when they had their fight scene in the first movie, I think they paid him to like actually fight Tobey Mcguire for real, to hit him for real. So yeah, there was that breakover. Sorry.
And it was working too. I mean, look at the face. You could tell she was falling in love.
I gotta go.
Or not. And eventually she breaks up with Flash on graduation day of too, which is that's ruthless. That's like equivalent to telling your grandma.
I thought Flash broke up with her
on her birthday. That's foul. But I can't lie.
That is tough. Graduation, that's tough.
Done yet. Because then she gets with Peter's best friend Harry. But him getting with MJ was probably the worst decision.
I feel bad for Harry.
She does not.
Harry just kept shooting. He just kept trying. Why are you messing with him then if you don't like him? Is it because he's rich? Don't make me turn this into a freaking masculinity video. Please don't. But why was you even with Harry? I feel so bad for him because Harry was really trying.
Care about him at all. So first thing she does is let Peter know that she's dating his best friend. And then she tells Peter, we should go out for lunch sometime. Don't tell Harry.
Wait, but that's missing context, is because she was working at that diner, right? Yeah, she was working at the diner. Wasn't that why she said don't tell Harry? Maybe it was like the whole conversation, but I always thought it was like because she was working at that diner, she didn't want to know Harry was this. Because then I feel like Harry would be like, nah, baby, you don't need to work. Come here. We living off my daddy's money.
Okay. Kind of really sus, but it's not cheap.
Okay, that's not fair. Like, Tobey Mcguire deserves some heat for that too, right? For this right here. Their chemistry just never worked.
People realize how messed up this kiss is. Okay, so one, she doesn't know the dude. So she doesn't know it's Peter. So as a viewer, you shouldn't feel happy for Peter. She thinks she's kissing some other dude. Two, she's cheating on Harry. And three, she doesn't know the dude. Again, that's nasty.
That's also true. But also, Peter knows who she is. First of all, Peter, okay, at the time I was like, hell yeah, get with Mary Jane, because I don't know, I was a child. But now it's like, hey, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Peter, you know exactly who that is. And Peter ain't the best of homies right now. That's disgusting. That's disgusting on Peter's part too, because he could have just said, nah, dipped out. Because it's not like he didn't know. She clearly told him, I'm done.
And this is all to say thank you because he saved her once? You're telling me the homeless dude I gave money to yesterday should be trying to make out with me just because I gave him $1?
Hey, yo, hold up. Hold on.
The homeless dude I gave money to yesterday should be trying to make out with me just because I gave him $1.
Yo, what we doing? What we doing here, bro? What we doing here, bro? That's why I never watched this movie. That's why I legitimately never watch this movie anymore. Disappointment.
And the worst part about this is that right before this, she was still flirting with Peter, so it seemed like she was gonna cheat regardless. Peter asked how her and Harry were doing. She said, why so interested? Like, and the most messed up part is there is not an ounce of remorse in her face. We don't get to see her reflecting on her actions. If anything, she's open about how much she loves Spider-Man.
That is crazy,
She was on the phone with Harry talking about,
Don't let the bed bugs.
Damn, she did hang up on him. I remember that. And he was just like, I mean, Harry was corny at that point, man. He was like a, kind of spoiled rich kid, but he just trying to like do right by his girlfriend at the time. Bro, she did him dirty. Like, I think the one thing, especially when you look back at that time, was the early 2000s when the first movie came out. I hate teen movies from that time. Like, exaggerated, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm not saying that teen movies now are killing the game. The last teen movie I saw was like To All the Boys I Loved Before, which was a result of me coming home after a night out, watched the first one, then watched the second one. And I was like, no, I might as well. I'll watch the third one. I'm gonna keep drinking, finish this out. And I was legitimately like screaming because I'm like, these problems are not that hard. Just fucking talk to each other and you will resolve this. Also, the main girl for that movie straight up cheats on her boyfriend in the second movie. Straight up cheats on him when she makes out with that British dude at the end of the movie. And then, do they ever bring it up in the third movie? Because she cheated, but we don't want to talk about that right now. Weird how bad she treated my boy. Harry was out here living when realistically, if this was 10 years later, he'd be listening to Andrew Tate and just living a crazy ass life. Or maybe he would be the Andrew Tate of the Spider-Man universe because he has the money, whatever, blah blah blah. Look at his
Harry did not
face.
catch a break. Next thing that happens is that he walked in on Peter pretty much risen up his girl. And again, I gotta backtrack.
No. That's where, if I'm Harry, me and Peter having a conversation. What we doing, bro? What we doing? I thought we was homies. Like, I thought we was homies. Why am I catching in these situations with my girl? We don't talk no more, all right? Me and you, we do not associate. That is disgusting because Harry, at that point, I don't think he would have done that to Peter. He would not have at all. But Peter, nah, not like that.
Mary Jane came talking to
Peter ain't innocent either.
She
That's
knows
basically what I'm
for
saying.
sure at this point. If she doesn't know, she's just who she knows for sure likes her. She came to him to talk about how much she loves Spider-Man while still dating Harry. And look how happy she is to talk about this. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm glad Goblin kidnapped her because she deserved at least a little bit of bad karma for this. I don't even know how she survived this whole situation. Her forearm strength must be insane. Look at that catch. Look at it. And then by the end of the first movie,
W working out spare time, she wants to be an actress, right? She'd be putting some time in the gym. But now that I look at it, besides how bad the CGI was, W forearm strength for Mary Jane. W forearm strength because she should just bounced off that thing and fell in the water. That's exactly what should have happened to her.
When her and Harry are broken up, she decides the best place for her to confess her feelings to Peter is at Harry's dad's funeral. Wow. Standing ovation.
Hey!
We're off to an amazing start.
Oh my God. Hold up. That's true. Didn't every freaking early Spider-Man movie end in a funeral, right? What was it? It was Norman Osborn in the first one. Who was in the second one? Was it Otto Octavius in the second one? And then it was Harry in the last one. That is disgusting.
Up, she decides the best place for her to confess her feelings to Peter is at Harry's dad's funeral.
Motherfucker, you could have at least leave the graveyard. Oh my, that is disgusting. I gotta watch these movies again.
Ovation. We're off to an amazing start.
Also, it wasn't like Peter, especially Peter. Maybe the most dangerous Peter was in Spider-Man 3 after he got the Venom symbiote and he was just doing that weird dance in Spider-Man 3. But Peter was never like a ladies' man for real. That doesn't work. That's not how Peter works. That's not how his Riz works. And this might make one of those things. It's like, obviously, if you compare her to today's standards, at least physically, marriage, who was the girl? Was it Kirsten Dunst? Who cares? She's not the most physically attractive, right? Their chemistry was off in the first one. Besides the fact that these are all just grown-ass people going to high school. But that's so weird, man. Oh, that's so, And then when she left, well, Flash was just a jump off anyway if you compared what it did. Flash would jump off. Peter, I think the lack of accountability. Obviously, this video is about Mary Jane, but the lack of accountability for Peter's part in this is alarming. Like, bro should have said, nah. I can't kiss the people I saved. Like, when they first made out in the fucking alley and he's upside down, right? Nah, I don't care. That's weird because Peter knows that they're dating. You just like, hey, I'm good, you know? Boom, get the hell out of there. All right?
So at the end of the first movie, after Mary Jane confessed her feelings to Peter, he pretty much told her, I gotta do my own thing since I'm Spider-Man, but you don't know that, so I just gotta do my own thing. So the first time we see her is at Peter's birthday party with her, Harry, and Peter, which is like probably so awkward. I don't think I'd be able to do it. And Mary Jane starts this movie off hot. I cannot hold you. This is the most toxic she's ever been. So first thing she does is go up to Peter and try forcing him to confess that he loves her. She was busting out all the stops, the face touch, the eye contact, and she almost got him too. She had my boy Peter saying,
Oh boy, yeah.
MK Ultra levels of manipulation. But Peter held it down and didn't say a word. He didn't confess any feeling. And I know this got her tight. Look at her face. And right after, she does one of the most petty things I've ever seen in cinema history. She immediately walks away and says, by the way, I'm seeing somebody. And just sits there and waits for my boy Peter's reaction. Do you know how messed up that is? Like, let that happen to me. I might just.
I woke up Chris Breezy.
So in this movie, Mary Jane's an actress, so
disgusting.
She has plays and stuff, and she really wanted Peter to go to hers. But Spider-Man stuff comes up, and Peter wasn't able to make it. And MJ, well, she took this to the heart, because next time she sees Peter, you know what happens? She agrees to get married to the dude just to get back at Peter. You know how messed up this is to Peter and to the guy she's with? He's just an innocent bystander who's getting in the way. Like, she's just using the man. There's that scene where she tells him to lay a certain way so she could kiss him and pretend like she's kissing Spider-Man. Pretty much confirming that she's still thinking about Spider-Man. And
my man's spitting right now. I just want the silence because this is hitting me right now. It's like oh my God. Of all the Spider-Man women that we've seen, right? She's the worst. Dear tier list. She's clearly F tier compared to Gwen Stacy and the other MJ.
Peter while with this dude. Then later in the movie, she's telling Peter again, you love me. Just say it. You love me. And when Peter tells her no, she's like, kiss me. Go ahead, kiss me. Mind you, she's still engaged. To the dude. The ring is literally right there. They show it in the shot. Then she gets kidnapped again. And after Peter comes to save her and he convinces Doc Ock that he's good again and all this stuff, the whole place starts collapsing on them. And Peter's holding it up by himself, the whole place. And she's under him. And she has the audacity to say, you do love me.
Oh, get out the way. Fuck.
And at the end of the movie, after they do all this lovey-dovey, confess love stuff, she does one of the most messed up things I've seen in my life. So at this point, we know the guy she's married to, Jameson, she doesn't love him. We know that. She's in love with Peter. So a normal person would call off the wedding and just get with Peter. But Mary Jane, since she's an actress and she wants to be in this fantasy world where she gets to be dramatic as hell and all this stuff, she waits to the day of their wedding and then just runs away to Peter, probably leaving the dude with years and years, and I'm talking years of emotional damage. Like that man.
Oh, whoa. Didn't even think about that. First of all, J. Jonah Jameson, like, his son was like an astronaut, right? Technically, like in the comics, I think he was the one that like brings the Venom symbiote back to Earth, and then it finds Peter, right? If I remember correctly. Who knows? Comic people, don't kill me. I'm not that well versed on the subject and the whole medium as a whole. So why would she just wait? And it wasn't like J. Jonah Jameson was being like quiet about it. They ran like a big ass place. Everybody was there, and that is, oh my God, that is messed up. And then you running through Central Park, right? Which means everybody named Mama. Back then, because nobody was really having cell phones like that. If it was today, she'd be all over TikTok as the runaway bride or some dumb shit. Oh my God. Yo, this woman is diabolical. Oh my God.
And it's DTB for life. He ain't trusting no one. And by the end of this movie, she confesses to Peter again, and she pretty much says they'll be together no matter what.
Well, that's
him
a
being
damn lie.
Spider-Man, him being Peter Parker, it doesn't matter. They're gonna get through it all together. And if you watch the third movie, you know that's cap. From a cinematic standpoint and from the Mary Jane standpoint, this is probably the worst one. Still my favorite though. So at the beginning of this movie, Mary Jane still
Hold up. Back that up.
From the Mary Jane standpoint, this is probably the worst one. Still my favorite though. So at the beginning,
Is Spider-Man 3 your first movie of the three? Is that what's going on? I'm not gonna hate. Look, everybody loves what they love. Okay, I have a beautiful fascination with Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Like if it's on TV, I will stop what I'm doing if it's at all possible to watch it. I just love it. It's like they take Mike Winchell from Friday Night Lights, and then he really took that loss of Dallas Carter hard and went off the deep end. And then by the end of his senior year, he doesn't go to college. He ends up just he some reason they moved to California, and he loses. He technically did he win that first drift race? Even though the rich guy just lost. First of all, my guy, you're rich. You're rich. You could have just found another girl. This is high school. It ain't that deep. But whatever. And then Mike Winchell goes to Japan and becomes a top race drifter. It's so dumb. I fucking love it. I fucking love that movie. But good for you.
Speaking of this from a cinematic standpoint and from the Mary Jane standpoint, this is probably the worst one. Still my favorite though. So at the beginning of this movie, Mary Jane's still an actress, but now she's like big, like Lizzo, fame-wise. And her and Peter are truly in love now. Like nothing could go wrong. Peter was even ready to get engaged and everything. But then, you know, it's Mary Jane, so nothing could ever be normal in a relationship. She gets fired, which wasn't her fault, okay? That's normal. But normally people who get fired don't start to envy their partner, because that's exactly what Mary Jane does. She starts to get mad at Peter for being Spider-Man.
Right?
In the last movie, she literally just accepted that he was Spider-Man, and there are things that come with being Spider-Man. So now she's jealous? But let me slow down. I'm not gonna act like Mary Jane is all bad, because Peter was tweaking in this
Oh
movie.
yeah, absolutely.
He really kissed Gwen Stacy
That's
in a crowd full of people.
I couldn't believe it when he did that. Even as a child, I was like, yo, what is my man's doing? Okay, let's just say all these people glazing Spider-Man is incredible. Like it feels great, right? I'm still not making out with Gwen Stacy just to make out with her. That is disrespectful, especially when earlier that day or a day before you were thinking about buying a whole ass ring for for Mary Jane. And look, I'm not saying Mary Jane was justified in her actions, because she just broke it off. But I definitely understand why she was feeling at least some type of way about the kiss, not the envy part, but the kiss. Absolutely, that is absolutely disrespectful.
Knowing his girlfriend is right there. Like he just said bye to her a second ago and he still kissed her in front of everyone. And I thought he would apologize. I honestly did, but he just said, oh, that's just a girl from class. This man is the worst gaslighter on the planet. Mary Jane is still an L though, because when she was mad at Peter, she had the audacity to tell him that's our kiss, when she was doing the same thing in the last movie with her fiance. And eventually actually forgives Peter, not being petty at all. She comes to him saying she wants to be there for him, and she knows he made a mistake, and she forgives him. And
I mean, well, they both made mistakes, right? But oh god, Spider-Man 3 was really bad. We just gotta we got all that forced conflict, when realistically we probably could have got something else entirely. Also, we missed out on Eric's in the last season of That 70 Show for this, and the show ended off. The last season was good of That 70 Show, but it could have been better if we had Eric there. But I understand why he took the leap, because this is, he was trying to become a movie actor, and Topher Grace has done great work. But man, not for Spider-Man 3 now.
Said Peter was tweaking this movie. He literally hits her with okay, I don't need your help. And since Peter was being so rude to Mary Jane, she thought that the only way to get back at him was to go back to her old ways. So she cheats on him with Harry.
I woke up Chris Breezy.
I would say I didn't see this coming, but she cheats on someone in every single Spider-Man movie. She is literally 3 for 3. And now Peter comes to apologize to her. This is so toxic. He starts saying he loves her, and she's like, no, we can't be together. No.
There's someone else. I've fallen in love with someone else.
Well, that's a goddamn lie.
I woke up Christmas.
But it turns out it was Harry who was behind it all, and he just wanted to demoralize Peter. But she did actually cheat though. That was
actually
now to
actually
get
happened.
back at MJ. Yo, this back and forth never stops. Peter takes Gwen Stacy to the bar where MJ works.
Oh, that was after the symbiote fully got him, and he got that emo hairstyle. He already did the pelvic thrust in front of the store after he got his fresh suit. It's so dumb. Peter was like the earliest version of like what are those freaking male podcasts? Was it like Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit? I don't know a lot of these things, man. It was like the earliest version of that when nobody really knew what they was doing. If he had a whole podcast, he'd have like millions of boys. Be like, hell yeah, bro. Peter living right. I can't stop laughing. This is so dumb. All right. Let's finish this off. We're almost done.
Just starts dancing with her. Definitely the most cringe sequence in the movie. Gwen Stacy honestly deserves so much better in every single movie. If it's not her back getting broken or her best friend dying, it's this. And I know I made that Chris Breezy joke a second ago, but Peter actually slaps her.
Oh!
Eventually, again, Mary Jane gets kidnapped, and again, she saves herself. I'm telling you all that forearm strength. And both of her exes team up to stop the villains. Harry dies though, so I guess she chose the right one. So the movie ends with Peter and MJ, I guess, forgiving each other or something. I don't know, it's pretty vague. They just kind of hold hands and smile at each other. And I could presume they lived happily ever after. As y'all can see though, the 2002 MJ is clearly the most toxic woman ever. But it's not just her, all Mary Janes are like this. There's the 1994 MJ. She was crazy. She literally jumped off a building so Peter could prove that he loved her. And then there was that one time she got sent to another dimension and she eventually came back, but it turned out that wasn't her. That was a water clone, which makes sense because the bitch wasn't crazy. The real MJ actually got remarried in the other dimension to a dude named Paul and forgot about Peter Parker. Then there's the new MJ, Zendaya, who I wasn't gonna mention at all, but as I was recording this video, the trailer for her new movie came out, and clearly she's the worst one of all. I really thought she was super innocent, but no, she was getting tag teamed in that trailer. Mary Jane being a thought has to be a canon event. My condolences go out to Tom Holland. As I said earlier though, MJ is the most toxic woman in the universe. My fellas watching this, try to avoid women like this, because even if you give them the world, the second they go to another dimension, they'll leave you for a guy named Paul. And moral of the story,
Wow. Wow. That was interesting, right? That was very interesting. Oh my God. How? It's crazy. He was, oh my God. That was interesting, informative. Derek FDB, thank you for the video. Your boy learned a lot. God, this Spider-Man 1994 one's gonna be crazy because I remember watching that too. But, oh boy, she said, "Yeah, I'm cool. I'm gonna get with this guy Paul." Then I remember Peter pulls up, but she decides to stay. Right, so that's tough. But Peter Parker always going through some stuff that he doesn't even need to. He just gets shit on all the time by the writers. But that was a fun video. Has me thinking a lot. I'm probably going to end up watching the original Spider-Man trilogy again just to see these moments for myself again. And, oh my God. You know what? I'm feeling a little frosty. Let's keep it going. I've been looking at this one ever since I clicked on the video. The Amber one. Let's see what he got for Amber.
Then why are we fighting?
You made me feel stupid and unimportant.
trash people of the internet.
Okay. Let me say this right now. Okay. So when Amber came out, right? The whole season, okay? Even though it's unfair, right? Whenever we get in these situations with superheroes, the whole season I was rocking with Amber, right? Like, you know what? Yo, some shit's going down. Where the hell's my boyfriend? Okay? We know. We as viewers know that Mark is invincible, and invincible is literally saving lives. Okay, so in order so the college trip doesn't go well, but Mark's like, you know what, I really love Amber. I gotta let her know about my deepest, darkest secret, and then we can grow from there. Because at least then, like a normal person would think, she would at least try to understand where he's coming from. If the life of being the girlfriend of a superhero or the significant other of a superhero is too much, I get it, Gucci, whatever. Okay, it's gonna be kind of tough with her keeping a secret identity. Maybe we'll call Cecil, do something about that. But boom. When Invincible tells her everything, right? And then she's like, I know. And then he's like, why are we fighting? He's like, you didn't trust me. He's like, I'm trusting you now, right? He's like, you made me feel stupid and unimportant. And I'm like, Amber, I'm sorry. You are very stupid and very unimportant compared to what the guy does every day. And she's, if I remember correctly, she said she knew for weeks. So I'm like, you've watched, it's not like you don't get Invincible, like stuff about Invincible on the news. You watch this man fight for his life, saving millions of people, right? And then before that, you knew when he fought the Flaxons and Omni-Man disappeared for like a couple of days or a week or whatever. When he got his ass beat by Battle Beast, you knew about that. It ain't like once you knew, you didn't do a little bit of research on Mark. It ain't just like, oh, he's invincible and you just kind of chilled. Nah, you did some research because everybody would. Everybody fucking would. If I was dating Wonder Woman, I'd be like, yo, I'm going to need to know some more about Wonder Woman because, hey, I'm dating Wonder Woman. Okay? Boom. Whatever. Talk about in like a span of a few minutes, completely destroying a character. It's not even talking about the fact that she's white in the comics and that she's black on the show, which made me feel some type of way. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, whatever. Because she's gonna get some karma coming up here pretty soon. So I'm gonna be very interested to see how they cover that. But I don't want to spoil it. And if they cover it the way I think they're gonna cover it, I'm gonna have a fucking problem. But that entire argument that they have, and the whole worst part is they don't allow Mark to react like a regular person. He just takes it. When in all reality, he might have lost his shit at her too. But no, Mark takes it. Then he takes it from his best friend. Then he takes it from Adam Eve. Whereas I'm like, is nobody gonna speak the actual, like, for real truth with Mark? No? Okay, bet. But I've said enough. Let's go on video number 2 by Derek FDB. Most hated side character ever. And Amber was definitely catching, I mean, she's still catching strays, but she was catching straight up like bullets for a long time after that episode.
I'm here as the bearer of bad news. You see, Mary Jane, a woman I dubbed the most toxic woman ever, is only the tip of the iceberg.
This is a sequel video?
Recently, the Invincible Season 2 trailer dropped, and it brought back memories. Memories of someone so vile, so toxic, so
Fly away, flyboy.
stupid. Amber from Invincible. And honestly, I fear that her character is starting to influence other characters. But we'll get to that later. If you don't know how she became the
okay, I'm gonna stop there because a lot of people were worried after Lois did the thing when she jumped off the bridge. She was getting a lot of Amber, like from Invisible vibes. But it was rectified. It was rectified. So I can say that right now. It was rectified in the next episode. It really was. Plus, there was another video I watched the other day where this guy was like, no, Lois Lane is not like Amber, where he straight up breaks it down. When basically, when they're having that fight, right? And Lois, besides the fact that Lois legitimately shows concern for Clark when he walks up the stairs, he has that giant rug burn on his neck. She shows concern. Meanwhile, Amber doesn't give a fuck. Does not give a fuck at all. Especially realizing that, oh, I just went to the fucking college with him. He fought a cyborg that almost killed people. Hey, just as a common courtesy, hey, Mark, are you all right? You feeling okay? No, she didn't give a fuck. But I'm going to let Derek do the legwork. But Lois Lane, they figured it out. And I need to watch that. I need to watch that whole thing from the beginning. So All right, let's go.
Most hated side character ever. Well, let me show you. So we first see Amber in episode 1 where she's getting hit on by, you know, the typical high school jock. Y'all know, the ones that talk like, if it isn't my main man, Fingleton. What's up, dude? That kind of guy. And she wasn't really feeling him. But that's when my boy Mark steps in. And this is before he got his powers, so you know what happens.
Got his ass beat.
Amber, being the independent woman she is, she comes in and kicks Todd right in his... And Amber starts to admire Mark a little. Because, you know, it takes some courage to get whooped like that in front of the whole school. So fast
Hey, yo, hold on.
Amber,
Let me pause. Okay.
Because, you know, it takes some courage to
Okay.
get
Let's look at my boy right here in the thing. Okay.
And Amber starts to admire Mark a little. Because, you know, it takes some courage.
Ain't no way my guy over here is just chill on his phone while Mark is out here getting his ass beat. Also, that's a ridiculously long chain. His fit's trash. He don't even match. I don't know. I need to see that bill, and I need to see his shoes. But right now, they were lazy on the thing. But also, man, Mark, tuck your shirt in, bro. What are we doing out here, bro? Bro, also, this dude, what did he... Let me stop before I start roasting fictional characters' fits, okay? Motherfucker can't even comb his hair correctly. Let me stop.
To get whooped like that in front of the whole school. So fast forward a little, Amber pretty much blackmails the bully Todd with, I guess, some old explicit pictures in order to get him to apologize to Mark and also give Mark her digits, which is a W. Amber making the first move.
I was like, okay.
The relationship was gonna be amazing. So Mark and Amber set up, you know, their first little study date, but it's interrupted when Mark has to go handle some superhero business at Mount Rushmore. And from Amber's perspective, it looks like he's just ditching her, which is really, really messed up. But as we know, that's not the case. But we have to look at it from her perspective.
Absolutely.
Imagine you're constantly getting ditched by someone you like. Wouldn't feel too good. And it happens several times. He even misses out on the soup kitchen. But Amber and Mark rekindle again because, you know, he got hit by a bus, which is really just intergalactic Mufasa destroying his insides. Pause. And so it is.
Bruh, Battle Beast beat his ass. Invincible was going through it the whole season, but that right there, I was like, yeah, go ahead, Invincible. I'm gonna need you to sit down for a couple days, okay? Go ahead, sit down for a couple days. No superhero for you, okay? You're gonna have to get over this physical enemy. Bruh, when he's like, I thought I was promised strong people, and then he sends that portal and just fucking leaves after legitimately leaving the Guardians of the Globe, aka the bootleg Justice League, on the floor. He broke people's arms, then he was ripping people. Oh my God. Bruh, when he slapped Rex though, he slapped the shit out of Rex. That boy bounced like a rock when you throw a rock over the water. Oh, man, fuck Rex, man. I don't care.
Decided to plan a trip to, what is this college called? Upstate University. Probably the most straightforward name I've ever heard for a college. And this trip is the beginning of the end. So they arrive at the campus and everything's going calm. No, there's some people missing on campus, but that's fine, we're good. So they go to this one lecture and there's this guy. This guy with slick back hair, pink suit. Honestly, I would have saw him, I would have knew he was a super villain. Who goes to a lecture in a whole pink suit?
Absolutely.
Even the way he talks, typical alpha male. Like, you know, this man's into the whole blue pill, red pill, black pill stuff. Anyways, Amber calls him out.
I'm like, somebody go ahead.
He gets kicked out of the classroom. Then we get this nice little montage of Amber and Mark.
To be fair, I don't even think when I was in college, I saw one person come to class in a suit, like, ever. Even the teachers. Like, I'm not saying the teachers out here wilding, but like in a whole suit, a pink suit. You can only wear that on like certain occasions, bro. What are we doing? First of all, my God, that time might be a little too long. I don't know. I'm talking too much.
And by the looks of it, everything is going amazing.
Absolutely.
And suddenly, this evil cyborg appears and starts attacking people and destroying the campus. And Mark, being the only superhero there, he has to run off and suit up and come back as invincible. And eventually the cyborg is defeated in a very gruesome way. And remember, nobody knows he's invincible, so this was not a good look for Mark. Like, imagine you're with someone you love and they're supposed to protect you or whatever, and stuff starts going crazy and you turn around and they're halfway down the block. That is not a good look. So Amber starts crying and talking about how Mark just abandoned her when they they were in danger. And this leads to Amber ignoring Mark, giving him the cold shoulder, and eventually going to this college party where she almost cheats on him. If the dude didn't hit her with the, yeah, my girlfriend says the same stuff, bro, you know. And I would give her a pass, but nah, bro. It don't matter if you're dating freaking Darth Vader, you don't cheat on someone. So they get back from the college trip, and this is when stuff goes down. So Mark starts apologizing to Amber, telling her he knows he hasn't been the best boyfriend, but he can change for her because he loves her, and that's what relationships are all about. Then Mark gets an idea on how he could fix things, and he thinks it's time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for him to reveal his identity. Cause surely she'll understand all his disappearances, all his mishaps are cause he's a freaking superhero. Absolutely. Out there saving people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's exactly what he does. And y'all know what happens? Y'all know what happens?
I'm not an idiot. I figured it out weeks ago.
What? She knew the whole time. The time he was late, she knew he was saving people. The time he got hit by that bus, she knew a bus couldn't have done that to him. At the college campus, she knew why he disappeared. So what were those tears for? Why are you crying? She's a better actress than Mary Jane. Talking about what made me feel unimportant.
Okay. I have tried on a multitude of occasions to see where Amber is coming from, okay? No matter who you are, even the greatest relationship ever, they have secrets. Even the ones like, oh, we know each other's secrets. No, you fucking don't, okay? No, you don't. But at the same time, I guess Amber would be hurt by the fact that Mark has this life that he refuses to allow her into, which is the correct choice, by the way, okay? Let's realistically think about this. No, let's use Lois Lane and Superman, okay? Do you have to realize how careful Lois Lane has, or how lucky Lois Lane is right now, okay? Superman, it's like, I always feel like Superman always knows where she is, right? Superman always knows where she is, and he can be mind controlled. He can be like loses power by kryptonite. He will always save her because that's who he is, okay? Batman in the Hush story, when Poison Ivy took over Superman, by the way, we should probably learn about that more, because if she can fucking do that to Superman, who the fuck else could she do that to? The only way Batman was able to break the Poison Ivy mind control was he took Lois Lane and threw her off a building, by the way. And he just kind of was like, oh, now Superman will break the mind control, right? Right? Meanwhile, there's a myriad of other circumstances where Lois Lane just fucking dies. And Superman's still under control of Poison Ivy. But whatever. Whatever. Okay? Even Lois Lane understands, even though I still think sometimes she puts herself in way too much harm's way because, you know, I'm a reporter, blah, blah, blah. I got to get all the hard stories. But she can also move that way because she knows Superman will always be there to save her. Okay? Hell, the whole fucking Injustice comic was Superman trying to save her, and ironically, it led to, boy, a pretty good story that was. I would have done things differently, but you know, I'm not a comic book story writer. So, but I still thought the story was pretty good. The Injustice games were pretty good for what they were. And Lois understands. Anybody who enters that life, if you're about to stick with it for the long haul, like, you understand what's going into it. The same way, like, if you're talking about like a dude, someone marrying into like a rich person's family, you have to understand what that life entails. Sure, the money's fucking awesome, but there are also things that you can't do anymore. Things you can do now, but you can't. Or whether it's a traditional family and you're entering into a very traditional family or religious family, or you're dating an athlete or a celebrity. Like, they're just things have changed. And you have to understand that in order for that thing to be healthy. The fact that Amber knew what Mark was doing, like he said, she knew he got his ass beat by Battle Beast. She knew that he was saving people on the regular. Yeah, so that motherfucker, Invincible at Mount Rushmore, that was him, okay? Invincible versus the Flaxons, that was him. Well, I mean, in the beginning, Omni-Man kind of took care of the rest. Invincible versus his dad, that was him. And like, Invincible versus the Cyborg at the literal college, that was him. What did she want him to do? Like, just start duking it out with the fucking cyborg? I mean, I guess, and then what? He's clearly fast enough to go somewhere, change, and come back real quick and save everybody's life. But I guess you just want him to just start throwing down the cyborg right there, even though the problem is, for her to feel that way is so incredibly stupid. It's so incredibly stupid, narcissistic, I guess, or it's like insulting to the writers who wrote it, the actors themselves, the voice actors who voiced him, the fictional characters themselves, us the viewer. It's so insulting to everyone. My mom doesn't know anything about like Invincible, but even when she watches, she's like, why would she feel that way? If she knew, why would she feel that way? Why is she blaming Mark? And I just sat there and I looked at my mom like, I wish I had a good answer to tell you other than the fact that she's dumb. But I've talked long enough. Let's keep it pushing.
Because you are. It's literally a secret identity. The whole point is
you had
it's a
superheroes
secret.
in that
And
world.
how
There's
long
comic
have y'all
books in that
been
world.
dating? Less than a year? Less than half a year? And if not telling someone something is a lie, then I guess I lie on a daily basis. Because I don't just go around telling people I have a birthmark on my right ass cheek. That would be stupid and embarrassing. This scene just baffles me because it changes everything.
Absolutely.
She said it herself. Make the world you want to live in. And Mark's trying to make the world he wants to live in and he's a bad person. Okay, I get it. If you want to break up with him, go ahead. But don't try to make him feel like a terrible person for not spending time with you instead of saving people. Talking about some damn soup kitchen. Ain't nobody give a damn about no soup kitchen. And this whole getting mad about not revealing the secret identity trope doesn't end at Amber. Because some of you might know there's a new show called My Adventures with Superman, which is about My Adventures with Superman, starring Lois Lane. And spoilers ahead, in episode 5, she also gets mad at Clark, same way Amber got mad at Mark for not revealing his identity. And then she jumps off the building to prove herself right. And this is probably the part of the video you probably expect me to trash on Lois Lane and talk about how she's exactly the same as Amber. And honestly, you could not be more right. Kidding. Well, I do really think what she did was
Oh, you'll have me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not the same as Amber. These two are not the same scenario.
Absolutely.
Lois was upset because she was worried about Clark. And when she confronted him, she did not know he was Superman, leading to her getting mad for being lied to, quote unquote. Amber already knew for about 3 weeks, is clearly not that worried about Mark. You saw during the college fight. And she can't be mad because she chose to stay with him. If she really didn't like the superhero stuff that much,
the lack
she
of
could have broke up with
accountability
him or brought it up to him the second she found
I think I cut him off too early, but
out. But no.
Okay.
She could have broke up with him or brought it up to him the second she found out. But no, she's retarded. But Lois isn't saying.
I will never understand the lack of accountability for Amber in the show. Even after Omni-Man beats the shit out of Invincible and he goes back home and she just pulls up and she's like, I'm here for you. And they're ready to get back together. That is so insulting. Okay, I get even if Mark is still in love with her, even if he is, like, even if he can't say anything, Eve should have said something. His best friend should have said something. Hell, his mama should have said something. But I don't think his mom was there at the time. But that is so insulting that she never truly gets in trouble. She never gets any comeuppance for her words or actions. She's just depicted as this holier than thou person. Okay, it's cool that you go to the soup kitchen and do all that stuff, right? But the minute you found out and the fact that you just sat there, it's like, you know what this is like? It's like when you were in school, because I'm just going to use that. You're in high school and you and this girl were talking forever. All right. And then, you know, you guys graduate, you guys go your separate ways. Maybe you guys see each other in happy hour one day. And she's just like, how come you never said anything? Like, how come like I used to have a big crush on you. How come you never said anything? He's like, and then I'm like, how come you didn't say anything? If you had a crush on me, which because I waited for you to say something. And I'm like, if you knew how you felt, or if you knew, and I'd be like, I was scared. Like, you know, is this the right comparison? No, I'm limited. If you knew how I felt about you, or if you knew how you felt about me, why'd you just say something real quick? We could have just talked about it. Okay, think about how much easier Mark's life would have been well, relatively, because he's still getting his ass beat. If Amber just came and said, hey, are you invincible? Or like, hey, I know you're invincible. And then, you know, they would have had the conversation right then. And then boom, it would have been like, hey, is she trying to stay with him or not? Because then I wholeheartedly think, I don't think she wanted to, she would have stayed with him. She was like, all right, we're broken up because I don't think I can handle you being that. And then bet Cecil's watching probably. He's like, all right, let me fucking take care of some shit here. And he's like, hey, Amber, you can't be ratting out Mark's, you can't be out here saying Mark is invincible. And obviously Mark would feel like shit for a while, but then he would move on. Other than all this existential, like teen love drama that he had to go through, while the fact that it turned out his dad is the biggest enemy toward the human race. Let's see, Cecil, like his mom is the most heartbroken woman on the planet. All this shit's happening. He just fought it. Millions of people are dead. Their aliens are coming. Blah, blah, blah. There's so much happening. And then you still want him to be like, you still want a place. You still want to be important. And I get what you clearly were important to Mark because you clearly kept trying. He clearly kept trying. And then to the point that he was willing to basically show you everything about him. And that's so fucking dumb.
Either. Like I said, it's still stupid. Why would Clark tell you that he's Superman if you're constantly saying to him, oh, I can't wait to expose Superman's secrets? That just doesn't make sense. And why literally jump off the building?
Absolutely.
Just threatened to do it. I know she's done it like 4 times, but damn. Plus, on the first episode, Lois was willing to risk Clark and Jimmy's job so she could get her scoop. So can you really blame him for not trusting her like that?
Absolutely.
I do appreciate the fact that Lois is an actual character with flaws. Like, she does stupid stuff, but she gets called out on it. Amber, on the other hand, is perfect. Grade A student, goes down to the soup kitchen, feeds the homeless, the crackheads, y'all know. So she's never in the wrong. Even when she did the whole I already knew for 3 weeks thing, everybody in the show was defending her. Eve, William, they were making Mark feel like he's the bad. When in reality, she is. She
absolutely is.
She when she could have been maybe checking on William and his boyfriend after the robot attack.
Absolutely. The minute Amber says, hey, I've known, for me, until Omni-Man comes out as evil, the show is terrible at that point. It makes no sense for everybody to attack Mark. Eve, who's been in that exact, Eve, who knows how that life is, to attack Mark like that is ridiculous. Okay? With his friend William, I can maybe like find a way to justify because, you know, he doesn't fucking know. He's never been in that situation before. The Eve is the one that pisses me off completely. It's ridiculous that everybody is giving Mark all the fucking heat. Excuse me. When basically after Amber did what she did. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm glad he cleared up that stuff about Lois too, you know? I'm so glad he cleared that stuff up.
Attack, making sure Mark is okay, giving Mark maybe a thank you for saving them,
their lives.
He was invincible. I didn't even hear her give William her condolences after his boyfriend got turned into a freaking evil RoboCop. And I know he ain't died, but at least an I'm sorry. I think what bugs me the most is that she decides to go back to Mark.
Absolutely.
In a very vulnerable state after his dad just destroyed cities with his face and pretty much left to go get milk on another planet. And even in those moments, she still has a smart mouth. I pieced it together. I was Mark that.
I'm gonna get fucking mad. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That is ridiculous. I haven't read the Invisible comic. So does it go this way in the comic? Somebody let me know in the comments, please. I'm getting so freaking frustrated. Like, just listen to this. I understand this is his recollection of it, but I'm like, I remember watching the show and I'm like, why the fuck are you here? Mark, why are you hugging her? Why is this conversation even happening? Just like, look, I just can't talk right now. Close the fucking door. It's ridiculous.
Door would have been slammed right in her face. I don't know why Mark doesn't just get up and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go be with Eve. Because clearly, superheroes and humans cannot be together. Because stuff like this happens. I just don't like her, man. Like, she is not redeemable at all.
Absolutely.
I don't care what she does in season 2. She could be saving freaking puppies from drowning in a lake of lava. I don't care. I'll forgive Omni-Man before I forgive her. Because annoying characters are worse than villains. And that's just a fact. Who wrote her, man? Like, who wrote her? I really want to know.
My man's a spit
was it
right
you,
now.
buddy? Huh? Or was it you, Simon, sitting in the back there all quiet? You know who Lois and Amber should aspire to be like? My boy Jimmy. He completely understood that a secret identity is a secret identity for a reason. And that's why he's the GOAT, man. The GOAT! All this to say, Lois Lane and Amber may be a little similar, but they're not the same. Lois is a good character. Lois has her flaws. And you know, sometimes we're not gonna like her, but that's with anybody. But Amber, I never like her. I hate her. Oh my goodness. Only thing worse is like Jenny from Forrest Gump and Skylar White. That's like bottom of the barrel.
I've never seen Forrest Gump. And that's only because somebody told me what Jenny does in the movie, and I said, I'm good. I'm absolutely good. I don't need to see that movie. That's also the same reason why I'll probably never watch an episode of Naruto either, because one of my boys, Pee-wee, told me exactly what happened, and I was like, what? Why is everybody mad at Naruto for? His literal father saved your lives, and they treat him like shit, okay? He's also like a nuke. He's a deployable nuke that the village has. I'm not saying you gotta glaze him up, but yo, don't treat him like shit, okay? I don't think I'm the only person who feels this way, but Naruto should be the villain of the story. I think the minute he was able to, he should just fucking left the village. He was truly able to. He should just fucking left the village. Basically, you know what Sasuke did? Nah, Naruto should have done that shit. I don't know about the Orochimaru shit. Nah, leave that shit alone. But he should just fucking left. Okay? He should never go back to the village. People in the village should be running to him and begging him to come back. Okay? If it wasn't for the fucking ramen guy, yes, the ramen guy, because even this first fucking sensei was a piece of shit too. If it wasn't for the fucking ramen guy, the village, the hidden village in the leaves, who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck about the name of the village. The village is screwed. Okay? The village is screwed. There has to be a good fucking story, because it ain't no fucking way that even after like he fights what's the fucking guy at the end that does the Tsukuyomi for a while, he basically sends Naruto into a filler arc. Madara, there we go. Even after they beat Madara, if I'm fucking Naruto, I'm like, nah, fuck y'all niggas. Okay? I've seen the name of some of their movies. He gets like framed for like murder, and they just send him to the blood prison. Nah, bruh. After everything that I've done for this fucking village, I ain't fucking with y'all no more. Okay? Now I'm getting fucking mad. Where the fuck's my water? Let's finish this fucking video off. Fuck Amber. Fuck everybody else in Naruto. All the adults in Naruto, for real. Especially while Naruto was growing up on that fucking swing, okay? I've never seen a damn episode of Naruto, but I fucking know about that swing. And that's ridiculous that he is the hero of the story. He should be the villain because he has that. His villain arc was ready and made right there, but I'm doing too much. Let's finish the video.
But as for Amber, yeah, she's definitely the most hated side character ever. And moral of the story,
Spent all this time worrying about you.
It's a secret identity.
You lied to me.
I'm trusting you now.
Fine, we'll do this the hard way.
Oh, we don't need to talk about that MFR. Was it Eve's dad? We do not need to talk about Eve's dad. That dude is a horrible person. But we've done enough. We have done enough. We have talked enough. We have consumed enough Derek FDB content for now. I probably will be back. So, yeah. I will probably be back because I am definitely all about that, the biggest hater ever, because even I know about how petty and how much of a hater Reverse Flash is, even though everything is his own fucking fault. I will see you guys later. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for watching and listening with me to reacting. Let me know what you thought of the videos in the comment. If you have other videos that you want me to react to, let me know. I thought I had something else to say, but I don't. But so, all right, guys. See you guys later. Or see you guys Sunday for the Mushoku Tensei review.